Hey book friends, welcome to a bit of a reading vlog. And so I was inspired to start this vlog based on this book. So I have had this book on my shelves for a while. I have seen it in multiple book recommendation videos and I think I would really like it. But on top of that, I am really interested in Sally Hepworth. I'm interested to know if I would like her writing. So from my knowledge, based on watching probably too much booktube, it sounds like she's a thriller author that is maybe more contemporary, if you will. I feel like I've heard her compared to like a Leanne Moriarty in style. Now, I'm not sure if she's like psychological in her writing or not, because I tend to try and stay away from that. But from the bit I've heard of her, it doesn't sound like it. And so I'm always on the hunt for new thriller authors, especially ones that are clever. And so my plan, what I decided to do is I got some books. I have this book, like I said, but I just went to the library, and maybe I'll put a little clip in here because I was like, I'm just gonna get what is at my library. And surprisingly, my library had a number of the Sally Hepworth books. So this one actually was the one that I'm the most familiar with. So the Soulmate, I feel like it's one of her more recent books, other than like the most recent one, which I can't get right now because it's too recent. But the Soulmate, The Younger Wife, and The Family Next Door, and The Things We Keep. So I have 5 books here. What I'm gonna do for this vlog is I'm gonna read the first chapter of all of these books right now. That's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna finish 1 or 2 books. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna make any promises. I want to really get a feel for Sally Hepworth and her writing style. So come along with me and we shall see if I like her writing. But stop the video right now and let me know if you're a fan of Sally Hepworth and why, because again, I'm really curious. But let's get into the part where I read a bunch of first chapters and give you a general idea and pick which book I'm going to read for this vlog. I forgot I picked up a Starbucks, so I'm gonna do that and get started. Okay. Yeah, so this first one, I'm actually really interested in. It sounds kind of more domestic thriller. It's about this family that buys this house on top of a cliff, but they did not realize it was kind of infamous as the place where people would come to jump. And then it seems that her husband has a knack with kind of talking people off the ledge, if you will, except for what's happening in this first chapter, which it appears that there was somebody out there, and this was like the 9th or 10th time this has happened, so it's kind of, they're a little used to this now, but it seems like he's not able to help this time. And then when the wife turns around, the woman is no longer there, and her husband is standing by himself on the cliff. And then I think maybe he knows the woman, and kind of things start unraveling. So that sounds really good, really kind of twisty. So let's just pick up another one. We'll do this one, The Family Next Door. Okay, this chapter started with a bang. So this book is about this mom who had kind of a mental break when she had her first baby. Like, she was 8 weeks old. She left her in the park. All these things, like, it sounded very postpartum depression. And that really is what happened in that first chapter, where you're like, oh my gosh, this woman is just at the end of her rope, and then she just leaves her child. Then like minutes later, they go back and get her and all this. But it's still kind of this moment of like, she just left her. She left her. And then this book isn't about that. It doesn't sound like, but maybe it is. Maybe, probably to some extent. But it sounds like it's about now, in the future, 3 years later, they live in a neighborhood and there is a neighbor who moves in who's a little suspicious. It's suspicious that she likes to be in Essie's life and her children's life because she had another child, and I'm not sure why. It says it's described as a deeply moving portrait of family drama and a compelling suburban mystery. That sounds so good. It was really good. As a mom, it was a little bit hard though to read. So, okay, there's that one. I'm gonna do The Good Sister next. So let me just read a bit about this and I'll be back. So I actually read, there was a small section that was almost like a prequel, the journal of Rose, and Rose is one of the sisters, because this is about, I think, twin sisters. Yeah, adult twin sisters. And one of them sounded like she was previously married and wanted a baby, and that kind of broke up her marriage. And then her sister, her twin sister of Fern, who sounds a bit like different, kind of neurodivergent, I'm not quite sure. And even in that first chapter where Rose was talking, it sounds like something in their history was a little sketch, and Fern is a little sketchy, and she maybe did some things that she didn't mean to. So that idea, and then it kind of fast forwards to present day, and you get a little bit of Fern as a little librarian and her response to kind of people and things like that. Honestly, she gave me Molly the Maid vibes from The Maid, which I have read recently, and so I'm curious to see where this goes, because it sounds like Fern gets the impression that Rose really wants a child, which it sounded like she did, but then Fern decides maybe she'll take it into her own hands to make that happen for her sister in some way, or maybe she'll be able to gift her a baby in exchange for everything she's done for her, sort of idea. So it sounds a little dark, maybe, not sure. Okay, I have this one, The Younger Wife. All right, I'll give this a try and then come back. All right, I just finished reading the first chunk of this. It was just the prologue, and it was talking about the wedding of this man who's in his 60s, who is taking a younger wife, a second wife. But the kicker is that his current wife is still alive. And not only that, she's at his wedding. And so it sounds like she has Alzheimer's or something, and she's very confused. And he has a couple adult daughters. But what I think this book is about is this idea that these daughters are suspicious of this new wife, and this new wife has some secrets, and so does the family, and what the heck is going on. And so I don't know, it sounds like a really fun like family drama, not just like a domestic thriller drama. So that sounds really good too. Oh, this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard to pick, but let me read the very first chapter of this, which is I think the oldest one of my stack. All right. I read the first chapter. This one was a long chapter. You guys, this doesn't even seem like a thriller book of any kind. This seems solidly contemporary, about this woman who is getting Alzheimer's at a very early age and is being placed into like this assisted living home. She's like 38 years old or something like that. And then there's this other man named Luke who is also in there, and he also has very early onset Alzheimer's. And it goes from there, and the synopsis sounds like it's about them trying to be together. And there's some obstacles and there's some secrets and stuff. Okay. But that doesn't sound like a thriller book to me. So what I had envisioned from Sally Hepworth was more like this book and this book. These two books are kind of what I was envisioning as to her style of writing. Now, these ones seemed a little bit more that way, but this one not at all. Not at all. And so I'm honestly not sure what I'm going to pick up. I think I'm going to read this one. I feel like this was the one I was most interested in, that falls in kind of that thriller genre. That is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a thriller that might have contemporary aspects to it. Although this one sounds really good too. I think it sounds really interesting about following a woman with Alzheimer's. I read another book about a woman with Alzheimer's. I think it was called like Forgetting Alice or something like that. It was a while ago. I can put a picture up if I do find it. And that one was really good. Also about Alzheimer's and just the challenge of the disease. But I don't think I'm in the mood for that right now. Not right now. So I'm going to pick this one. And if I read two books in this vlog, I'll come back and I'll let you know which one I'm going to read. But for sure, I'm going to read The Soulmate. Hey you guys, so I literally just filmed a big video. I filmed if you like this, try this type book video, and it was really fun, and I have some fun recommendations for you guys. And so that's what this pile of books is about. But I wanted to give you a quick update on where I am in the Soulmate, because I think I'm about halfway. I'm like around a page 150. And to give you a quick reminder, this book was the one where it talked about a couple living on a cliff basically, and that cliff is a common place for people to jump. And the husband wasn't able to save someone, and it started this whole cascade of events. And that was the first chapter I read here in this video. Now, what I think about the book so far. I think it is more contemporary thriller than just thriller. It has more secrets. It's more kind of character focused. It's more marriage focused on kind of almost the two marriages, the main marriage of the couple that live in the house, as well as the marriage surrounding the girl who jumped and what connections there are there. And I know this is a thriller type book, so I don't want to give away anything, but what I want to say of my first thoughts is that I'm really liking it. I'm liking kind of the twistiness of it, but not in a psychological way or a just kind of messed up in the head way, which again, I don't love. This is more of a like mistakes way, like people who make mistakes and the consequences of said mistakes and how that's intertwined with those you love and those who kind of get roped in by accident. And so I am liking it. I feel like right now it's giving me kind of a 4-star vibes. I'm really engaged. I want to read it. I want to see what happens with this couple. And so, yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see where this lands. Because again, I don't feel like a thriller vibe. This is not like turn the pages because my heart is thumping and I want to know what happens. It's more of a curiosity. What resulted in this situation? Kind of curiosity. So that's where I'm at right now. But I'm listening to it on audio, so I should be able to finish it quickly. I feel like shortly, maybe even today or tomorrow. And so I do think I'll just check in when I finish the book. Hey friends, welcome to me getting ready. We're getting ready for church and then we're gonna go see my family, but I finished The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth last night, and I just wanted to update you guys. I wanted to just kind of give you my thoughts while they were still fresh. So I'm getting ready because I have no time this morning to kind of stop. We just have to get out the door. So I don't know, this might be harder than I thought. My thoughts were I really liked it. I liked the book a lot. I like the character work. I like the fact that, yes, I was spot on believing that Sally Hepworth was similar to Leanne Moriarty. I feel like she is very much contemporary, or I guess I've heard the other term being like literary thriller, where it is more about the people, it's more about the characters, and then some suspenseful things happen. But it's not like a book like, say, Taylor Adams books, like No Exit, where it's like they're fearing for their lives, there's some really crazy things happening. It is not that. It's more of that, like, what is going on in these families' lives? Like, what is happening? What are the secrets? And what are the consequences of the secrets? If that makes sense. And so that's what I felt like happened in this book, because like I was saying in my Midway update, it's really about these two married couples and the secrets they're holding and the connections maybe between these couples, the connection between the husband and the girl that jumped, and some other things there. So I feel like I was just drawn into the characters. I felt for this idea of they believe that they are soulmates with their partners, and yet there's secrets. And are those secrets worth overlooking and continuing on with their lives? And I thought kind of the reveals were really good. I didn't see them coming. There was some that I kind of got hints at. I wasn't exactly right, but I was correct in some of the connections. That's all I'll say, because I don't want to say too much, obviously. So I would say like 4 stars. And obviously I really cannot straighten my hair and talk at the same time. I talk with my hands too much. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to continue. You know, even though I did the try the chapter and the one that I was like, oh, I don't think I should read this. It sounds a little too dark. I think I'm going to pick that up. I think I'm going to pick up The Good Sister, only because I feel like there has been so many people liking it. And usually when people like a book like this, it's not necessarily that I feel like it's going to be super psychological or dark. Hopefully it's going to be kind of clever. And there's going to be some connections that I didn't see. That's what I'm hoping, because I felt like this first book, I felt like it was clever. I felt like the author did a good job of drawing us in to the characters and their lives and making us care. and then stringing us along till the end. And so I think that's my plan. So I will be picking up The Good Sister. I'll just pop up a picture. Obviously, I don't have these books in here in my bathroom. And yeah, we'll go from there. This is really fun. I'm thinking Sally Hepworth might be an author I like. And now I'm really wanting to get her new one that just came out this month. We'll see if by the end of this vlog, if I just add it to the end or not. But I will check back in with you guys once I have started a significant amount of The Good Sister. Because if you remember from my try a chapter section, that was the book that had the twin sisters, and the one sister that seemed a little neurodivergent and maybe will want to solve her sister's problems in ways that her sister might not want her to solve her problems. So that sounds really good. So I'll let you know what I think as I get into it. Hey guys, so I needed to hop back on here because I have made it. Let me get the book. I have made it halfway in my book. And so I know I was updating you guys when I was getting ready this past Sunday, and I've mostly listened to it on audio, you guys. Okay. I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts so far on this book. Now, when I first started it, I was thinking, oh no, I don't know if I like this, because when I did that try a chapter, it just kind of felt like maybe there was some psychological things going on. And kind of at the beginning, I would still kind of get that feeling. But honestly, you guys, I love the characters. It's about these two sisters, like I mentioned before, two twin sisters. One of them is struggling in her marriage and wants a baby, and the other is her twin sister who is a little bit different. And she decides that she wants to help out her twin sister by getting pregnant. And now we're following mostly Fern, which is the twin sister who is looking to kind of pay her sister back, right? And I love being inside her head. It reminds me so much of The Maid and Clover in the Collected Regrets of Clover, which I know I just made a comparison video. I feel like I would add Fern's character to that list. Now, this story kind of really doesn't jive with those books in a comparison, other than the fact of Fern and being in her head. Now, what I am loving the character of who she meets at the library. I'm checking to make sure if it talks too much about this. Not too much, but it happens kind of right away. So I'm going to mention the fact that she meets someone. And she is still very logical in the sense of like, oh, he has a high IQ. I think he would make a good baby maker, right? And so she has that approach to him. But yet there's a lot more there. And now we're following them. We're following their interaction with each other. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. I have an ominous feeling though. That's how I feel. I feel like something bad is going to happen. I feel like she's going to misinterpret something. I feel like the sister feels almost more unstable than Fern. I think Sally Hepworth writes characters in a way that I really like. I really jive with. I feel like they feel well fleshed out. They don't feel flat. And so I'm just really enjoying it so far, you guys. I am so surprised. I feel like she might be a new favorite author, potentially. So anyway, I wanted to quick hop on here because I want to keep reading and I don't want to like get to the end without like updating you guys. So that's my thoughts as of now, and I'll probably catch you when I finish. Okay. Hey guys, so I did want to update you, actually kind of close out this vlog, because I finished the book finally. I finished The Good Sister and I loved it. I really shouldn't say finally, it didn't take me that long to read. Oh my gosh, like I almost filmed a clip right after I finished it, but then my kids all got home and it got really loud and it was hard to film, but I loved it. I feel like there's so many things going on in that book. And at first I felt this ominous tension. And I think I said that in the last clip, but it felt like I was a little anxious. I didn't know if things were going to go in a weird way. Like it definitely had more of those, like it did have a little bit more psychological, but not in a way that I dislike. And I don't know how to describe this exactly, but I loved the characters. I loved especially the character of Fern, and I loved the character of her like love interest. And I just felt like her story and how she represented herself and saw the world, I thought the book did a really good job honoring that, honoring who she was Now, I don't want to give anything away on the rest of the book, but I think I'm going to be rating it 5 stars. I think I'm rating it 5 stars. I thought it was really clever. Those are the 2 reasons. I loved the characters. And 2, I thought it was really clever. For those of you who have read The Good Sister, which I know a number of you have, it's a fairly popular book, right? I know a number of you have. Write down below your thoughts on how it kind of concluded. Just say spoiler and then enter a couple times and comment below on your thoughts on The Good Sister, because I wish I had people to talk to about this. That's the bummer part about making this kind of spoiler free. I mean, I guess that really wasn't the point of making this video. The point for me was to see if I liked Sally Hepworth as an author. Yes, I do. I feel like I'm excited for all of her books. I'm really excited for her new one, and I wish I would have picked it up from Book of the Month. I did not, but I did find it on Everand. I'll put up a picture. Like, I found it on my phone. And so I think I'm just going to listen to it, because one reason is later this month, I think after I post this video, later this month, Jessie from Reading with Jess, her book club called Sleep When I'm Dead, is reading this book. That's the May selection. And so I want to participate. Usually I don't pick up those books, not all the time. I feel like I'm not always drawn, but I think Sally Hepworth might have just become an auto-buy author for me. So you guys, let me know your thoughts on Sally Hepworth, on her writing, on if you agree with me calling her more of a literary thriller type author. Oh, so good. But anyway, I feel like that's what I wanted to say, and I just want to conclude the vlog, and I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoy content like this, because I had a lot of fun making it. But you guys, that's what I have. I hope you are well. If, for instance, you have nothing to say but you want to let me know that you are here, please leave me a, leave me a wave, because I feel like, especially for the Soulmate, kind of gave me very much ocean vibes. But anyway, I hope you all are well. Like the video, subscribe if you want to, all the things, and I will see you in the next book video. All right, guys, take care.